Alright, as you guys had saw just then, I pointed out there that there's a lot of research that they're doing to try and correlate whether big heads tell if people are smarter or not smarter. For this, it doesn't matter. But what if people could sit there and have jokes about each other and use it for a positive focus? And they could also sit there and improve their ability to use rhetoric in a classroom. Well, you might not be able to do this in a classroom, but as parents, we have our kids, and our kids sit there and like making fun of each other. One thing that I think is a cool thing is to sit there and say, hey, here's a way to have a little bit of fun. You teach them that, hey, they're doing studies to show that a big head can say that somebody's intelligent. So let's practice complimenting each other. And as they practice complimenting each other, you can sit there and tell them, okay, let's go. So here's an example. I am going to go back and forth with my buddy, Scratchy. Scratchy, introduce yourself. Hey, I'm Scratchy. I'm gonna go back and forth with Butchie here. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna talk to him about his big head, cause he has a really big head. Yusun has the biggest head. Let me tell you how big his head is. No, no, it's not time to talk about big heads yet. But anyway, since it's my show, I'm gonna start with the big heads. Scratchy, your head is so big they have to weigh your head with an industrial scale that they use to weigh pallets. You know, those giant pallets they weigh the aircraft cargo with. Yusan, your head is so big that they have to take and weigh your head on those scales in sections. In fact, your head is so big that they had to sit there and they had to look and measure your head with the same thing that they used to Britannia and Lusitania. And I thought, oh, wait. Oh, Scratchy. Hold on, stop, Scratchy. No. Scratchy, your head is so big that your head is as big as an aircraft carrier, the Britannia, the Lusitania, and the Titanic all together. Well, Yusan, hold on. Your head is so big that it's bigger than the iceberg that sunk both the Britannia and the Titanic. In fact, Yusan, your head is so big that your head is bigger than Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump's ego. Scratchy, your head is so big it requires its own zip code. Yusan, your head is so big that it's bigger than Texas. Scratchy, your head is so big that it's bigger than the United States. Yusan, your head is so big that it's bigger than all of Asia and Europe. And that's including Africa too. Let's not forget that. It's bigger than all three continents together. Scratchy, your head is so big that it takes up the north, west, south, and eastern hemisphere. And when you turn it over, it almost fills half the globe. Yusan, your head is so big that it requires the entire earth to encompass it. Scratchy, your head is so big that it takes up the entire Milky Way galaxy. Yusan, your head is so big. In fact, your head is so big that when you open your mouth, people think it's the black hole. In fact, that's how much you talk. Scratchy, your head is so big that it requires an entire universe to contain your head. Yusan, your head is so big that it's measured with the word infinity. In fact, they created the word infinity just to measure your head. Scratchy, we should not go there. because they stopped and they had a problem because infinity wasn't big enough to measure your head. Your head was so big that they couldn't even use infinity to measure it. They sat there and created an entire infinity spectrum to measure your head because they had to figure out how to use infinity times infinity times infinity and infinity to the infinity power just to figure out how to measure your head. And then they had to figure out how to measure in different dimensions upon dimensions just to measure your head. Scratchy. Scratchy, your head is big, man. Your head is big. Yusun, you just ain't right. There's nowhere to go after that.